Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the fourth wave of the Filmation figures for Masters of the Universe from Super 7. If you saw a couple days ago, I posted the review for Wave 3, so I'm working through my backlog here, but I think this is the last wave for these, and if you're not familiar with these, basically what they are is they are figures done in the style of the original toys, the same size, same articulation and everything, but their appearance is made to look more like the character designs from the animated television show from Filmation as opposed to the original toys. Because there were a lot of times where the way they drew the character for the cartoon didn't really match the way the toy of the character looked. And every one of these comes with a cool little cardboard card in the back, as you can see, and it shows on the back the evolution from the toy to the character design for the show. So we'll definitely be taking a look at that. But I was excited to pick up this wave. Like I said, it's a bit of a bummer that it is the last wave, but it's because Mattel took the license back from Super 7 because they're doing their own figures next year, fall of 2020. We're going to get the new Masters of the Universe Origins line, which is going to be toys, figures that look very similar to the original toys in as terms of like size and design, but they're going to have, the updated articulation and kind of what I call toy technology of today. Like, it's been 30 years since they originally made these toys, and, they're kind of updating them for the modern age, which is awesome. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for that line. But I almost considered canceling the pre-order for these, but I wanted to get them because, one, it's going to be a year until those other ones come out, so these can, hold me over. But also, it's just, they're fun. Like, the old packaging is amazing, or I should say the packaging made to resemble the old packaging is amazing. And this wave has a lot of cool figures. Evil Seed is a character that only existed on the show. He never had a toy previously, so this is the first time we're seeing Evil Seed. I believe the same can be said about Shadow Weaver. I know that Shadow Weaver did show up in the Classics line, the taller, like 6.5-inch figures that Mattel did. But this is the first time we're getting a Shadow Weaver in scale with the original figures, I believe. So I'm not sure if Evil Seed showed up in the Classics line or not, but again, this would be the same time he'd be in scale with, the original figures. And I never had an Evil Lyn as a kid, so I wanted to grab her. I did have Buzz Off and Stratos. I got to tell you, Stratos is really not much different from the original toy, and we'll take a look at that. But I think Buzz Off is slightly different. So I wanted to grab this wave. Like I said, it was the last wave, and I think it's fun. And plus, these three figures I really never had a representation of before, so that was a big selling factor to me to pick up this wave. But again, packaging is amazing. On the back, it shows you kind of the features they have, shows you the rest of the figures that are available. So I'll show you this packaging pretty quickly. Most of these guys really just have the kind of spring-loaded waist. Let's see what Buzz Off has. Oh, you can swap heads for enhanced vision ability. And pose his wings. So he's got another head? Oh, he does. Yeah, look at that. He's got another head under there. That's cool. And then Evil Seed, I don't think is going to have attached the growing root to his hand. All right, we'll take a look. And then Evil Lyn has the waist effect. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get these guys out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. So here are the 5 figures out of the packaging. We'll start here in the middle with Shadow Weaver. I think she looks pretty good. The mask looks good with the eyes nicely painted. The head does not move at all, but I think the head sculpt looks great with kind of the end of the hood here dangling on the back, just like the show. The cape's great. I think that works really well too. She's got the Horde symbol there for the belt. This is all one solid piece of plastic. She doesn't have legs. It's just, you can see here, all one solid piece. She has arm movement. Her hands can rotate. Otherwise, she has the spring-loaded gimmick, which I think is weird for her, but whatever. She does come with 2 accessories. She has these 2 wands, which both look really good. And unlike Orko from the last set, she holds onto them very easily. They fit in her hand perfectly. She's got a firm grip. They're not going to fall out anytime soon. So I think that works. The other accessory she comes with, which is actually kind of neat, she has this little plastic stand that you can plug into the bottom. It's a bit of a tight fit, but you can wiggle it in there. Just be careful. And then it looks like she's floating, which I think is cool. I kind of wish it was about half as tall though, because she really should just be kind of skimming the floor. But either way, I think that's kind of cool. We'll give her. I like this wand better. So there we go. I don't really remember her having a wand on the show, but maybe she did. It's been a minute since I've seen it. Next up, we'll check out Evil Seed. He is another one that has no legs and he's just a big chunk of plastic. But he still looks good. I love the detail on the face, the molding, the paint, everything looks really good. Head can move from side to side. He's got rotating at the shoulder there, and you can rotate the hands as well, but that's pretty much it. But I will say aesthetically, he does look really cool. He comes with 2 accessories. So he comes with this shield, which he can hold. But again, it's been a minute since I've seen the episode. Did he have a shield? I don't remember him having a shield. Maybe he did, and I just don't remember it. Just seems like a weird fit for him. The other one is this kind of cool, like, plant tendril accessory that you can clip over his hand. And it just kind of fits in here like that. And then it just kind of looks like, out the sleeve of his robe, he's got crazy plant tendrils attacking. I think that looks great. Like, that works really well. I think it looks cool. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get off of his hand. There we go. But he looks good. I know he doesn't have a ton of posability, but again, he's a character that was in the show for a long time. Well, I shouldn't say he was in the show for a long time. He was in the show for like an episode or two. But it's been a long time. He never got a figure. So happy to finally have him, even though he doesn't do all that much. Aesthetically, he just kind of looks great. Next up, we'll take a look at Evelyn here. Now, as you can probably tell, and I believe this was the same case back in the day, it was a reuse of the Tila mold. I mean, they wanted to make use of that mold. She actually has the best articulation as far as these joints go. I feel like it's a little bit easier to actually move these. I'm still a little wary after what happened to my Skeletor, but I think she looks nice. Boots are painted nice. She still has that hand, like, looks like she's ready to be kissed by a prince or something. I don't really know what's going on with that, but I think back in the day you clipped shields on there, but now it just kind of makes it for a hand that can't really hold an accessory. This hand, though, she does come with 2 different wands. She's got, I think this is like the original toy accurate wand. It was just done in solid blue, and it looks okay. But then she's got like a nicer, more painted wand that I think is more show accurate. I like that one a lot. So that's really cool. Sometimes she has a little trouble standing, but if you can get the feet just right, it's not too bad. She also has this little cape. This just clips onto her neck. It reminds me very much of like the Batman capes Kenner used to do back in the day. It just clips onto the neck just like that. And I love the headdress. I think the face looks beautiful. Nice sculpting there and everything. Nice headdress. Very nicely painted. They did a good job with all that. So very nicely done with her. Next up, we'll check out Buzz Off. I feel like he didn't change all that much from the original toy. I think the wings are different. If I remember correctly, he had just like big yellow wings. They were kind of a floppy plastic. And they just kind of moved around, These can move around a little bit, but these are 2, like, it's one solid piece, but it's made to look like 2 wings on each side. And they can just move around. You can do with them as you want. If you want them to go down, or I like them like this. I think they look cool. He's got these like pincer claw hands, which I think were reused from Claw Grip, but I could be wrong. He does come with 2 accessories. He's got this cool lance, which I like, and then he's got this like axe. But it's really weird for him to hold accessories because of how his like pincer claws are. So like you can kind of put that in his hand like that. This one you can kind of do as well. You can kind of like just push it down a little bit, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't work really well. If they would have come up with something that, like maybe this was turned 90 degrees down here so that it fit in there nice, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just this weapon doesn't really work at all. This one kind of works. So accessory wise for weapons, I don't really think it's that great, but he does come with a different head. You can just lightly pop this one off. I was surprised at how easily it popped off. I thought it was going to be a problem. And then you can pop the other one on here. And basically what it is, this is kind of like his bug eyes that he can like it's like a visor that he can pop up. You can see up here, and he's got blue eyes underneath. The original toy, I believe, just looked like this, and it had a piece that you popped on top, but it fell off very easily. So I kind of like the including the two different heads. I can't decide which one I like better. I think I might keep this one, but I do appreciate that they included this one as well. And he stands okay. He does have the, I should say, I'm pretty sure they all, with the exception of Evil Seed, have that spring gimmick. I think she has it as well, yeah. It's, I don't know, that gimmick's neat, but it's never been a huge favorite of mine. All right, so next up we got Stratos. Again, he looks very similar to the original toy. He's got the spring-loaded waist there. Can move the legs around a little bit. Again, I'm really wary to move them around all too much. The head really doesn't want to move at all. I think it's supposed to be able to turn, but I don't feel like breaking his head off, so I'm not going to worry about it. These came separate. You just clip them on. They don't really like, I think the old toy used to have a way to latch them. I could be wrong. It's been a while, but these really just kind of loosely clip on here, but they stay. I mean, it's not really a huge problem or anything. And then he comes with two accessories, two different staves. So this one, I'm not really sure what that is. And then he's got this one. And they fit pretty easily. They stay pretty secure. I like this one better, I think. I know it's simpler, but I don't know. This one I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. Oh, also I forgot to show, Evelyn came with this cool crystal accessory. Forgot to show that off. So, I mean, these guys have accessories. Like, you can't complain that they don't have accessories. Not all of them work that well. Like, I think the accessories themselves are good. Not all of them work that well with the characters they come with. But they do have accessories, so you can't say that they don't. Real quick, I want to take a look at these cards. So we got Evelyn. You can see the original toy, fairly similar, just kind of better paint job, a little better complexion. She looked more like a yellow Lego minifigure back in the day. And I think the headdress, they did a better job there. So I think that one looks a little bit better. But then you can see what she looked like on the show. And I guess the original toy didn't have a cape, so I'm glad they included that. Evil Seed, you'll see here that he never had an original toy, so these were just two different concepts. I kind of like this. I don't know if that ever happened on the show. Like, if he takes the robe off, is that what he looks like? Like I said, it's been a minute since I've seen that episode. Here is Buzz Off, and we can see the original toy. So it did kind of have two molded, but it was one big piece of plastic like that. And you can see what I mean about that hat that just fell off all the time. And see, he just had that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try that again. It doesn't really work. But see, because if it's supposed to connect like that, it's not wide enough to fit over the pincer claw as I knock Stratus over. So I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that later. But man, they really were going to drastically change his appearance for a minute there. Maybe that's how he looked in the comics. I'll have to look that up. Oh, Wasp Man and Bug Off. So apparently he had a couple different iterations there. But I will say this one definitely looks like the cartoon. They did a good job with that. And then next up we have Stratos. Again, he looks pretty similar. If anything, this guy's just like smoother. They kind of molded some fur onto him. He wasn't flocked. Yeah, I was going to say flecked, but that's not. It's flocked, I think. He wasn't flocked like Mossman, but he just kind of had some fur molded in, whereas this guy's just kind of smooth again, and the head is a little bit tweaked. Otherwise, he's pretty much the same figure. It really does look like those just clipped on very much the same way that these do. So I guess that was the same. There also was a variant where the colors were swapped, and the backpack was red and the wings were blue. That was a variant of the toy that existed, but I think this is what he looked like on the show, and this was the more common color scheme for that. And then last up, we have Shadow Weaver, which again did not have an original toy, so they just show the concept art and then what she eventually looked like. But very cool. I like these cards. I appreciate them. I think they're fun. Nice little animation stills here as well. And I like the little bit on the back showing you, like, you know, from toy to tune. I really appreciate that. I think that's nice. So, like I said, let me move these guys, see if I can get them all in frame here. Evil Seed and Shadow Weaver. There we go, it's a little better. Um, I like them. I really do. I think that Super 7 does a nice job. The only thing that makes me wary is the leg joints and apparently the head of Stratos. Most of the time, the heads aren't a problem. You know, it's very clear which ones are meant to move and which ones aren't. Like in the case of Shadow Weaver, her head is not meant to move because it's attached to keep the cape on there. Everyone else's head rotates. I mean, Buzz-Off's comes off and changes relatively easily. Stratos, for whatever reason, does not want to move. Um, and like I said, the legs can kind of swivel, but I wouldn't try those hinges too hard because the way they're connected to the body, when you try to move those hinges, I think the hinges are too tight, and the piece that's connected inside the abdomen or like the crotch abdomen, that's all kind of one piece. It's just not long enough to withstand the strain. So when you try to move that joint, it's really just putting the pressure on that peg in there, and that's why it snapped off on my Skeletor. So ever since then, I don't really move the legs too much. So I just noticed for the first time on the packaging, it does say ages 14 plus, and I would agree with that. I don't think these could take a beating from kids like the original toys could. The original toys had a little bit more elasticity to them, kind of a rubbery plastic. I think the legs were attached with rubber bands, so they could withstand a little bit of tug and pull. But these guys, no, they're all hard plastic, and if you put too much pressure on them, they will snap. I can tell you that from experience. My Skeletor's legs snapped right off. So they're definitely meant for collectors. I think they're fun, especially for these two characters, which never really had toys in this scale before. Like I said, I love this Evil In. I think it's a definite improvement over the original. Plus, I never had the original, so I'm happy to pick that up. These two guys, they're fairly similar to the original, but if you don't have the originals or if you just wanted a little bit more cartoon update, they're definitely good. I think they look nice, and the accessories that come with are really great. So I think they're definitely worth checking out. But if you at this point just want to wait for the origin line, I completely understand that. But I would say at least get these two because I don't know if they're going to show up in Origins or not. And these two are great. I mean, yes, they don't have a ton of articulation, but just for display purposes with the rest of your collection, I feel like they'd fit right in. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.